Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we have got some big, massive news that came out yesterday and yesterday night even. Um, Obviously, the last couple of days Real Madrid had a break, obviously Christmas time. Um, and Real Madrid will be back playing football in a couple of days. We'll talk about the training later and how things has been. But yesterday, we got some massive news. One is on the screen about Ancelotti signing this new contract with Real Madrid, and what my thoughts are. Let me know your thoughts on these news, all of the news down below, and also um, Kylian Mbappé. We are back to talking about Kylian Mbappé. It's been about 4 or 5 months since we last talked about Mbappé. We did make a lot of videos and talk a lot about Mbappé and this saga, this never-ending saga about Mbappé. And for the last 4 months, it's been dry. It's been about the football. It's been PSG. It's been Real Madrid. It's never really been Mbappé to Real Madrid or Mbappé leaving PSG. He still hasn't signed that contract. And you need to remember that unless he does in the next few weeks slash months, he could leave for free. Let's not forget about that. Let's remember that, because his contract expires in June 2024. And obviously he has the option to sign another year, an extra year, to June 2025, which he can trigger. He can, decide to do it. But so far, he has not. And that is really, really important when we are talking about a player like Mbappé. That is the most important part. We'll get on to that later. Firstly, Carlo Ancelotti stays. This is officially from Madrid Extra. Official, Carlo Ancelotti has renewed with Real Madrid until 2026. I'll talk about that in a little while. But this is the official statement from Real Madrid. Real Madrid statement: Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti have agreed to remain until June 30th, 2026. In his 5 seasons as coach of Real Madrid, he has won 10 titles, 2 Champions League, 2 Club World Cups, 2 European Super Cups, 1 League, 2 Kings Cups, and 1 Spanish Super Cup. Carlo Ancelotti is the only coach who has won 4 European Cups and the only one who has achieved the most victories in the history of this competition, 118, and is also the first coach to win the 5 major European leagues: Italy with Milan, England with Chelsea, France with PSG, Germany with Bayern Munich, and Spain with Real Madrid. So, let's dissect this. Now, firstly, what does this mean? This means that obviously Ancelotti is staying, but we had the whole Brazil rumor. We had the whole Brazil, president and coming out and saying he's coming to be our head coach of Brazil. And now this agreement has been made. This statement has been released. What does this in terms of the future mean? This means that I expect him to be here next season. Definitely. He's going to be here the season after. Probably. And after that, we don't know what's going to happen by that point. Now, I'll give my thoughts on this, right? I'll give my thoughts. Do I like the fact that Ancelotti stay? And my honest opinion and my honest answer is yes. Now, I've seen lots of Real Madrid fans online saying, oh, we shouldn't, renew him. Oh, we shouldn't, keep him. Oh, we should let him go in the summer and bring in someone like Xabi Alonso or even Raul. I get that. And I totally agree with the other side of the coin. There's 2 sides of the coin. Either you are an Ancelotti supporter, a fan, that sees what he has done and still thinks that he can do better if he gets the investment in the team, in the squad. Or you're the other side that think maybe we should get a younger manager, younger coach, to come in and bring in the Mbappés, bring in the Erling Haalands if we can. I get both sides. But I'll tell you why I think Ancelotti's saying is good. Because, firstly, man management. I don't think we can find a better option in terms of man managing a player. If Real Madrid do go in with a big player, a big young player in the summer, or sign Mbappé or Haaland for example, one of the two, you need someone to, sit them down and say, look, you might be one of the best players in the world, the best player in the world at the moment, but you're not bigger than Real Madrid. And that is for every player. No one is bigger than the club. And that is just that. And you need a manager, a coach, who is able to manage and handle these sort of situations. And I don't think anyone else can do that except for Ancelotti. Let's not forget Ancelotti, obviously with all the trophies he has won here, this season, I read somewhere that this is the best defensive start to a season in 3 decades for Real Madrid. And he has had basically every player injured at least once. Kepa was injured, Courtois is injured, Carvajal was injured, Militao and Alaba are injured, Mendy was and still is injured, Tchouaméni, Camavinga were injured, Arda Güler is injured, Bellingham had a problem for about 2 weeks, Vinicius is injured, there is no striker. Look at the problems that he has had to deal with. The problem in this team is a big problem. And for him to win 6 out of 6 in the group stages, we're still top of the table after halfway through the season. We've lost 1 game, and that was against Atletico Madrid, against a side that it's always going to be tough against Atletico. But we've done basically everything else right. There is no complaints. And next thing, I don't think it's fair on Ancelotti because he's not had the financial backings to prove what he can do. Where has the big money signing come from? There has not been any player. Benzema left. Where has been the replacement for Karim Benzema? None. Give Ancelotti another year. Give him a player like Mbappé or Haaland. Give him a top player. Give him maybe a couple more players to deal with in terms of maybe an extra defender, a fullback, maybe a right back, definitely, a right winger, maybe. Give him the tools that he needs, and Real Madrid can finally play better, because you're competing in a world where Man City have unlimited funds basically, and they have an incredible team with incredible depth. Bayern Munich too. You're dealing with 2 competitive teams, and there are more teams coming through, and there are more teams that are going to be competitive and are going to, invest, and they are going to start playing this good football. And if you don't have the top players to do it, and you don't have any players at all when half your squad is injured, and you've got no depth, you can't do anything. No one can save this side. And for Ancelotti to have won every game except for 1 and drawn maybe 3 to 4 games has been, I would say, a success. So far this season, it's been a success. I've got no problem at all with this season so far, and I'm totally fine with Ancelotti staying. Like I said, I agree with those who say, we want Xabi Alonso, we want Raul, we want another younger coach, younger manager. But I don't think they're experienced enough. I think let Xabi Alonso stay at Bayer Leverkusen for another 1 or 2 years, and then we can decide. Because I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think Bayern Munich are going to sack Tuchel. I don't think Klopp is going to leave Liverpool in the next 2 years. In 2 years' time, Ancelotti might have left Real Madrid, maybe. Just because he signed his contract until 2026 doesn't mean he's going to definitely 100% stay until 2026. This means he's going to stay next season. He might stay the season after. But after that, we have no idea what's going to happen. So, let Xabi Alonso, have more experience. It's his first season at Bayer Leverkusen. It's his first competitive season at Bayer Leverkusen, should I say. It's his first time being in a title race with a team like Bayern Munich. Let him grow. Let him have the experience of managing a team. Don't suddenly rush into it. So that's just my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are down below on Ancelotti staying. The next big piece of news is Kylian Mbappé. Now, if you realize that it was about 22 hours ago at the time of recording, and then after 3 to 4 hours, breaking news came out. Now, this is from Mario Cortagana, who works for the Athletic. He's one of the few Real Madrid writers for the Athletic. He's reliable, he's trustworthy, based on what he has written before, based on previous experience. He's not about writing stuff for the sake of writing, and he's working for the Athletic. So he's not a random journalist or a random writer who's just making up nonsense, really. But it says, breaking: Real Madrid will make a move for Mbappé in January as a free agent. There is more. Real Madrid will offer Mbappé a contract and have given him to mid-January as a deadline. So you're looking at maybe the 15th to 20th of January to make a decision. Everyone at Real Madrid wants Mbappé, from Ancelotti to the players, and especially Vinicius Junior. Now, I find this interesting because you could argue that both Mbappé and Vinicius Junior play in a similar position, a similar role. And we have heard Mbappé say before that he wants to play on the left. So, firstly, how would that affect the team and impact the team? And secondly, why is Vinicius Junior especially happy and especially want Mbappé to join? That I don't really get. Okay, you want to play with the best players, definitely. But Mbappé will be competing with him on that left side. And can they work together when we have got two players down the left side who want to play on the left side, who are players of the left side? Can they work together? And that is probably the most skeptical part about this deal. Now, Real Madrid's offer to Kylian Mbappé will be the same as before. 130 million euro signing bonus and 26 million euros net salary. So, in terms of the financial side, it is pretty, hefty. But that's what you have to pay when you're talking about the best players in the world. Kylian Mbappé has direct contact with Florentino Perez, who is a huge supporter of the signing. We know that. We know he has been pushing for that signing for the last 3 years. Now, Relevo, another outlet, have come out with this as well. This will be Real Madrid's last ever attempt at Kylian Mbappé. Now, I'm pretty sure down below, there's also this which says, if Kylian Mbappé does not agree, the door will be closed for good. This is the same source as the exclusive Ancelotti renewal news, Relevo, Spanish outlet. Now, we've heard this before, haven't we? If he doesn't accept now, he's never going to get a chance again. We have been hearing this, and we are still talking about this. So, when you hear such things like the door will be closed for good, there will never be a chance for Mbappé to join again, take it with a pinch of salt with every news like that. Because we've heard this before about Mbappé, that, he's not going to have a chance to join. And then Real Madrid come back in again, And next, Real Madrid will contact Mbappé next week. If he wants to join, he must agree in January, from Marca. So it's not just Mario Cortagana, it's also Relevo, it's also Marca coming out. Lastly here, Real Madrid will not wait again for Kylian Mbappé if he does not decide within the time frame. The club believes they are already well covered in attack. If he does not give a response, Real Madrid will offer the same contract they did in 2022, which was the one we talked about earlier. Firstly, Real Madrid will not win again. Like I said, you can't really, take it seriously because you never know. And I don't understand this, right? The club believes they're already well covered in attack. I'm sorry. Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Brahim Diaz, and Joselu. 4 players, and you're telling me the club are already well covered in attack. 4 attackers. 4. And we have had Vinicius out, and we have had to play the front 2 between Rodrigo, Brahim Diaz, and Joselu. And Joselu has been out. Rodrigo has been out. And you're telling me we're well covered in attack. I'm sorry, but if Marca has reported this as truth, I'm sorry, but that is unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Now I want to talk about this news. That the players are back. Now, Camavinga is back. Now this is from AS. Camavinga was expected to be out for 10 weeks, but he has practically recovered in 6 weeks. So, also, in terms of the training news, Camavinga is back, Carvajal is back, Arda Güler is back, and Vinicius Junior are back in training. So these 4 players are back in training. Now, Lucas Vazquez had a back problem, if I'm not mistaken, but I think he's going to be fine. The players who are still out, right? Your Courtois, Militao, Alaba definitely still out. Mendy is still out. And I think that's about it in terms of proper serious injuries. So that's a big boost because you have had 4 players come back. And the other 4, 3 of them are going to be out for the rest of the season. And Mendy might be back in the next week or 2. So that's about it in terms of injuries. Now, could we see Camavinga, Vinicius Junior, Carvajal, and Arda Güler play? We could. I don't think all 4 are going to play. I think it's highly unlikely we're going to see Arda Güler come back. It depends on Vazquez, really. If he can make it back, Carvajal is probably not going to be played or started. Because obviously Lucas Vazquez did score that late goal against Alaves. And I still think that Carvajal probably could do with a bit of rest. Vinicius Junior, interestingly, who knows? And also, Camavinga could be in the midfield, but I wouldn't rush him as well. So it's good news that these players are back, but don't rush them in. Don't rush them in. Yes, we are playing Mallorca at home. You might say they are a dangerous side, but there's no need to rush these players back straight away. And I don't think it's worth the risk again. So, that's, perfectly fine. They are going to be back in the next 2 to 3 games. I just hope that they're not going to be, risk the next game straight away. But let me know what your thoughts are down below on Ancelotti signing the new renewal until 2026. And Mbappé, do you think this time he will sign? And also your thoughts on the 4 players coming back pretty early. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the like button if you guys did. Subscribe to the channel on already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.